Courtney Lancaster, is a Navy veteran. Naturally, she is no stranger to firearms. Aware of the dangers of firearms and the need to be fully able to secure guns and know how to behave around them, she has passed down her knowledge of gun safety to her children. Her safety lessons included her 11-year-old son, who happens to also be a Boy Scout and 5th grader at Seneca Elementary School in Baltimore, Maryland. The Navy veteran's boy has been training with BB guns, hoping this would help him earn his promotion to Eagle Scout. As all passionate Boy Scouts, he wanted so badly to get promoted and receive another badge. However, life had a sad turn for the little boy and his family. His family would take responsibility and legal gun ownership for what landed the child in hot water. During an online session with his elementary school teacher, the instructor noticed the boy's BB gun mounted on his bedroom wall. The teacher's first instinct was to secretly take a screenshot of the child, his room, and his gun toy. What the teacher did next left everyone in his family in total disbelief. According to the WBFF report, the veteran, Lancaster, got up one morning to answer a persistent knock at the door. The mother's surprise was huge when found out that her son's teacher had called the police on her, reporting that she had weapons in her home around her child. The mother openly agreed to allow the officers to search her home, despite the fact that the officers didn't have a warrant on them, in the hopes of clearing up the misunderstanding, showing them that the weapon in question was nothing but her son's unloaded BB gun. While my son was on a Zoom call, a concerned parent, and subsequently 2 teachers, saw his properly stowed and mounted RED Ryder BB gun and one other BB gun in the background, Lancaster wrote on Facebook. He was not holding them and never intentionally showed them on video. In fact, he was oblivious that they could even be seen in the background. From the angle in which he was on video, it was not even evident which room of my home he was in. So Principal Jason Failer decided it best to call the police to have my home searched for dangerous weapons. Lancaster later explained on social media that the police officers were appalled that the principal had reported such an incident and made a huge deal out of something like this. The Navy veteran further added that they even praised her son for his handling of his BB gun and an airsoft gun. The officers that responded were appalled at the call and even commended the setup that my son has for his toys and commended him also on his respect and understanding of the BB guns. He is a Boy Scout. He is an outdoors all-boy kind of kid, and as his parents and by way of legal rights, he is allowed to own said guns, she continued. Even though the situation was resolved with the police, the school's principal wasn't having it and refused to let go of the uneventful incident.
Instead, Failer defended his decision to call the police on Lancaster, arguing that a teacher seeing a BB gun in the student's home is the same as seeing a child bring a loaded and dangerous gun to school. The principal and his teacher cited that just as he cannot bring guns to school, he cannot bring them to virtual meetings as well, and this is in the handbook. After a close review of the handbook, it does not address anything regarding virtual learning, Lancaster wrote. She further expanded on her explanation, saying that after only a 20-minute search, the police found nothing in the veteran's home that broke any law or presented a danger to her children. Since there was nothing to report, they left without any further investigation. There was no danger for anyone and their job was done. The mother still can't get through the fact that her son's school decided to directly call the police on her, instead of addressing their issue with her first. Additionally, she still isn't clear on what policy her son violated with having a toy gun in his room in his house. It's absolutely scary to think about, Courtney said. Who are on these calls? Who may have viewing your children and subsequently taking these screenshots that can be sent anywhere or used for any purpose? Courtney says that she will make sure her children don't participate in any further virtual meetings with school officials, teachers, or not. And she has a point. Disturbingly, the screenshots that were taken of her son in his bedroom are currently in the hands of school administrators. The school officials refuse to even let her view them, screenshots of her son in his bedroom. So, what are the parameters? Where are the lines drawn? If my son is sitting at the kitchen island next to a butcher block, does that constitute a weapon? It's not allowed at school, right? So, would my home then be searched because he's sitting next to a butcher block? Courtney said. I feel like parents need to be made aware of what the implications are, what the expectations are. The school maintains their position and refuses to give any comment on the issue, stating that they cannot discuss any private matters that involve their students for privacy purposes. Furthermore, they even argue that their top priority and concern is the safety of students and staff, even in the case of virtual Zoom meetings. If there is anything worth taking from the horrendous act of the school official with the young boy's screenshots, it is the importance of internet security and digital privacy. In a world where technology is taking over, knowing how to preserve your private life from nosy strangers, including teachers in virtual meetings, is crucial. If you don't want people to have any information on your surroundings, you can use the virtual backgrounds that blur everything around you. Mute your mic when there is a talk in your room. Firearms aren't the only thing children need to be protected from, as technology is becoming the first source of danger and threats, and proper digital literacy must be ensured before anyone is allowed to use the internet.